66 million years ago, Earth belonged to the dinosaurs. For over 165 million years, they had ruled the planet like living gods. T-Rex hunted in the forests of North America. 40-meter-long Argentinosaurus shook the ground in South America. Packs of velociraptors with sickle claws hunted in the Gobi Desert. The skies were full of pteranodons with 10-meter wingspans, and the oceans belonged to 15-meter mosasaurus that ate sharks for breakfast.
This world was hotter, wetter, and greener than today. Ferns covered the ground from pole to pole. There were no ice caps. Flowers had only just evolved, and bees were brand new. The dinosaurs were at their absolute peak. They had survived everything: ice ages, supervolcanoes, continents ripping apart. They thought they were invincible. They were wrong.
On a perfectly ordinary day in the Cretaceous, something left the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. A 12-kilometer-wide mountain of rock and metal, traveling at 70,000 kilometers per hour. It had Earth's name on it.
For weeks, it grew from a tiny star in the sky to a blazing fireball. The dinosaurs never looked up. They had no idea.
Then, at noon local time, over the shallow tropical sea we now call the Gulf of Mexico, it hit. The impact released energy equal to 100 trillion tons of TNT, 10,000 times more powerful than every nuclear weapon ever built detonated at once. The asteroid punched through the atmosphere in less than a second, vaporizing itself and blasting a hole 30 kilometers deep and 200 kilometers wide into the Earth's crust.
Rock that had been deep underground was thrown into space. Some of it reached the moon. Pieces are still falling as meteorites today.
In the first minute, a heat pulse of 10,000 degrees Celsius swept across half the planet. Every living thing within 2,000 kilometers that wasn't underground was cooked alive instantly. Forests burst into flame from North America to Brazil.
Then came the shockwave. Air blasted outward at supersonic speed, flattening everything for thousands of kilometers. A T-Rex in Texas would have been picked up and thrown like a toy.
Then the tsunami. A wall of water 1.5 kilometers high raced across the oceans at 800 kilometers an hour. It swept hundreds of kilometers inland, burying coastal forests under mountains of mud. In Montana, 10,000 kilometers from impact, baby Triceratops and T-Rex were buried alive in minutes by raging floodwaters carrying fish from the inland sea. We find their bones today mixed with ocean creatures, proof of the chaos.
For months afterward, the sky burned red. Trillions of tons of rock dust and soot blocked the sun. Global temperatures dropped 20 to 30 degrees Celsius in days. It became darker than the darkest cave worldwide. Plants died. The food chain collapsed.
The mighty sauropods starved as forests vanished. T-Rex, the ultimate predator, found nothing left to hunt. Triceratops ate dead ferns until there were none. 75% of all species on Earth died in the first year. But the killer asteroid had one final trick. It hit exactly where the crust was full of gypsum, calcium sulfate. The impact vaporized billions of tons of it, releasing sulfur into the atmosphere. This created years of acid rain strong enough to dissolve limestone. The oceans turned acidic, shellfish and plankton died, destroying the base of the marine food chain. For nearly a decade, Earth was a frozen, poisoned hell. When the dust finally settled, The age of dinosaurs was over.
The only dinosaurs that survived were the small, feathered ones we now call birds. From the ashes rose the mammals, tiny creatures that had lived in the shadows for 150 million years. One branch of those mammals would eventually evolve into us. Every time you see a sparrow, you're looking at a dinosaur that survived the apocalypse. The asteroid didn't just kill the dinosaurs, it gave us our chance.
The real story isn't that the dinosaurs died. It's that they ruled longer than any other land animals ever will. And on one terrible day, the universe reminded everyone who's really in charge.